13, quadrilateral TRAP is inscribed in the circle. Which angle is supplementary to T? And so one of the things we learned is that these opposite angles are supplementary. So that means angle A and angle T add up to 180. So the angle that's supplementary to T would be angle A. So if the measure of angle T is 78, so if they tell us that this is 78 degrees, what's the value of X? So if just look at these two angles, this is an obtuse angle, this is an acute angle. Do not make these two angles equal. Like we just said in part A, the angles are supplementary. So we're going to take a 3x minus 12 and we're going to add the 78 and make it equal 180. All right, so let's clean this up. So we can take the negative 12 and the 78 and we get 3x plus 66 equals 180. Now minus the 66 from both sides. And so we get 3x equals 114. Now divide both sides by 3. And so x is going to equal 38. So we know x equals 38. Now it says find the measure of angle P. And so like we talked about A and T, these opposite angles R and P have to add up to be 180. So now that we know that x is 38, we can put the 38 here to find out what the measure of angle R is. So 4x minus 3, so 4 times 38 minus 3. And so figure out what 38 times 4 is. So we get 152. So 152 minus 3 gives us 149 degrees. So we know that this angle here is 149 degrees. So we know this is 149, so now these two angles have to add to be 180 degrees. So 149 plus what equals 180. We minus the 149. And so the what is equal to 31 degrees. So the measure of angle P would be 31 degrees. All right, we have another quadrilateral inscribed in a circle. So we're going to end up finding x, y, and z. So as you look at this quadrilateral, here we have two unknowns, x and z, and 41. In this triangle, we have a one unknown. And why that's important is because we know that the triangle, the three angles are going to add up to 180. So I can write an equation if I have one unknown and find out what the y is. If I have two unknowns, can't do it. All right, so this is going to be y plus a 34 plus a 79 is equal to 180. So we combine the 34 and 79, and that's going to give us 113. Now minus the 113 from both sides. So we get y equals 67. So that means that this angle here is 67 degrees. All right, so now we're going to use this. We're going to use this 67 now And now we'll use what we learned before, or what we talked about in the last problem, is that these opposite angles here are going to be supplementary. So I know that this is 41, this is 67, this is 34, and this z we're going to have to add up to be 180. So 41 plus 67 plus 34 plus z equals 180. So add all those up. So over here off to the side, I'm just going to add them up. 41 plus 67 gives me 108 plus the 34 gives me 142. So this becomes 142 plus z equals 180. Now subtract the 142. And we get z equals 38. So we know this is 38 degrees. All right, so you could use the idea of the triangle again to find x, but you could also, like we just did, the opposite angles are supplementary. So we could just say x plus 79 is equal to 180 minus the 79 from both sides. And we get x equals 101. So now we found everything we need. So x is 101, y is 67, and z is 38.